What is that?
What you came for. A touch of magic in this world obsessed with science. A tonic. A potion. Drink that potion, and you'll never grow even one day older. Don't drink it, and continue to watch yourself rot.
Bottoms up.
That was a scene from the movie Death Becomes Her. Notice all of the jewels that Isabella Rossellini is wearing in that scene. Are those jewels made from all the dead children that she used to harvest her magic potion for youth, like adrenochrome? Truth in plain sight. This first video clip is going to be from McAllister TV. She's interviewing a Hollywood insider named Delora Isengel about blood diamonds and where they come from. And it's really, really monstrous, I will say. So, viewer discretion advised. At the end, I have a clip from an evil Rabbi Finkelstein, an old radio interview where he actually tells the truth. It puts all of this into a new light, because a lot of people didn't believe him back then. After watching this video, my hope is people will begin to understand and believe we are truly fighting evil and the devil himself.
What blood diamonds really are the other meaning, the real meaning, is people that have been turned into jewelry, and these vile vermin wear this jewelry, whether in earring form or usually they're showing you their engagement ring. Oh, look, look at my engagement ring. Well, there's two types of jewels that they create out of these people, and I kind of want to talk about how this started and what they do. And it's going to be pretty graphic, so your audience is your audience and they're used to this stuff, but
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about. For me, it's not that hard to talk about because I've been looking at it for so long, but when I first started looking at it, I was like gasping, going, I just can't even begin to understand the level of sickness, the level of just sheer disgust that I'm in, even just having to repeat it on your show.
Well, and also these pictures of John Podesta with these jewelries with all the beads and stuff, I think that's human teeth and other body parts as well.
Oh, yeah.
And Gloria Vanderbilt had on those necklaces.
Bone.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about some of the red beads on the necklace. So
Talk about those, the rubies, especially in the older Hollywood movies, like black and whites. Back then, there was a lot of the rubies were very big back then because, just like anything else, I guess people are in fashion just as much as jewelry. So, how do you dispose of a body? You know, we know that they're doing all this raping, killing, pillaging, and eating. You know, Cannibal Gate is a thing. I know it's hard for people to understand and accept this, but it happens. Jeffrey Dahmer times a bazillion, okay? That's where you need to go with this. How do you dispose of a body? I mean, look, I'm going to talk about this from a prosecutor's perspective, not personally, but from having worked in a prosecutor's office for so long. Killing is not an easy thing to do. Okay, you have to plan it. You have to dispose of a body. You have, you know, usually there's a motive, but we're not going into the legal part of this. We're talking about the pure physical killing of a human being. So what do these people do once they've killed other, you know, human beings, whether it's for, you know, one of their own that started to talk about stuff that they didn't want talking, so now they've got the red scarf treatment, or they were a sacrifice like the Vanderbilt. Well, we think that was a sacrifice. We don't know if it's actually Kathy Griffin or not. But in the meantime, not to get sidetracked, there's a number of reasons why the cabal and this criminal elite group of, you know, vermin has been killing us, whether it was for food supply, adrenochrome, just, you know, to shut somebody up, or just, I don't know what kind of sick motives they have. And just they might think it's fun, Linda, because that's, you know, I've seen this in the normal human world, in the normal daily matrix world, in the law enforcement, where, you know, people kill each other. So, okay, so how do they get rid of the body? Well, this criminal elite, and this is going to be bad, often like to eat certain parts of the body. And we all have heard about the adrenochrome, drinking the blood. There was that movie with, I forget who it was in it, but it was about drinking adrenochrome. If I remember it, I'll bring it up. Isabella Rossellini was in it.
Was it The Hunger? No.
No, it was something else. Somebody just showed it to me recently, but I'm getting sidetracked. So,
Yeah.
they, you know, the adrenochrome we know about the Cannibal Gate, you know, the
Was it
Bourdain.
Blue Velvet?
No, it was something she said, or something. It was like a witch movie.
Oh,
where
okay, sorry.
No, but that was a strange movie too. But they're eating us. They're eating our flesh. They're putting human meat into the food supply chain. They're doing all sorts of shit, Linda, that's vile, disgusting, and unfathomable to the normal human being, which makes it so hard to believe. And the adrenochrome harvesting from the kids, put them in fear, kill them, get their blood and drink it because it gives you a crack high and makes you look young. I mean, there's all sorts of things they're doing. And, you know, another thing they do is when they actually do have a dead body that they've created, whether it's, especially if it's a celebrity, another celebrity, or somebody of notable fame, or a child that they've raped and tortured and killed.
Or in Diana's case, a person of a notability with child.
With child. This is actually, you know, you can go back in history and read about these horrific crimes and wars and stuff like this. So this is stuff that happens and it's horrible. But they'll eat people live sometimes. I've had people that have told me they've witnessed this, and that worked in the industry and no longer work in the industry, and they've disappeared. I don't even speak to them. But I mean, it's pretty bad. If you've heard of people eating like monkey brains live in Asia, it's a thing. They do this with human beings. And they eat people dead. So they'll take somebody out and then they'll cut off the genitalia, and that's like the most prized part apparently. And they'll eat the genitalia, and they might send some of the bones somewhere. They might send the arm somewhere, the pineal gland they might dissect, just like you would do with a cow or an animal.
Yeah.
If you know, if you eat meat, a chicken, whatever, you know, the wings to the feet, whatever, they do this with human beings. Now, here's the kicker. A human body, when you cremate it, and you know, cremation is a normal daily thing that it happens all over the world. I think it's about 4 or 5, depending on the human being. There's bigger and smaller people. 4 to 6 pounds of ash, or I forget what the weight is. And I might be wrong, so I might be wrong there. But they will take what they need to take of that human body, and they will take the rest of the ash, and they will use a process which I shared in an article on my blog called Blood Diamonds, but you could look up your own videos on YouTube, and I encourage you to do your own research always. And they will take that ash, and the ash is turned into a blood diamond, or an emerald, or a ruby, or some kind of gem, and each one means something different. Now, I don't know exactly what all of them mean. I do know about the red ones, and I can share something if you'd like, Linda,
Yeah.
whenever we're ready. If you have any questions for me, go ahead.
No, I'm just listening to you right now. I mean, I wrote down a couple of things, but yeah.
Let's take a look at this. The public will probably remember this. Let me do this right here. All right, here we go. And so here is a picture of this ring, which looks like a ruby, but it's a red ring. And look, I believe this is Soleimani. And we've got Mr. Podesta here, Mr. Child Predator Podesta, with the same ring. And you got a bunch of other people here wearing this ring, including Oprah. And they're kind of showing it off, as you know, you can kind of tell in the pictures, because when a camera is pointed at you, like, you know, if a camera's pointed at me and I go like this, obviously I'm trying to show off my hand, and the showing off part is important. So these red ones, I've heard, are the first child rape, kill, and sacrifice for that person. And they will take this and press it into, the ashes of the kid will be pressed into this type of red stone, is what I've heard.
And this is the same thing I've heard about the red shoes.
Oh, well, I wanted to talk about that too. So let's bring it up while we're still here. You know, the Kate Spade bags that she had, some of them were made of human leather and human skin and children's skin. And the leather red shoe club is the same type of thing. It's the first kill, we should say. I don't like to use that word, but you know, the first kill is what they call it. And they take that poor victim's skin and turn it into shoes, and they take some of the ashes and turn it into whatever it is that they demonically feel like doing, they do with it. But let's take a look at some of these other celebrities so you can kind of get a graphic image here. So here are the diamonds. All right. I believe that the diamonds are actual other notable people. They're like very notable, like meaning they're famous, they're actors, they're in entertainment, they're in politics, they're in the public eye. And this could be, for example, anyone who's died at their hands turned into jewelry, and they like to flaunt it. Look, you got Paris Hilton. They're showing it in every single. It's not normal to be holding your hand up when you're taking a picture like this, and they flaunt it to each other at parties. I've seen it. I mean, Linda, would you and I walk up to each other at a cocktail party where we've met each other before and start holding out our rings to each other, unless you just got engaged or something like that? But that's not a normal behavior to do. So, you know, all of these jewels that you're seeing, folks, are, when it comes to these celebrities, most likely they are other human beings. And you can look these videos up on YouTube. I mean, here you got Kim Kardashian and the tranny Manny Merkel.
Well, I was going to say that the one before and this one looks like the Nub Club.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, look at these little trashy POSs. I mean, they just think they're so important, don't they? You know, with their wearing other. Look at this man. My God. And thank you for making these memes, to the Anon who helped me make these memes. But Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
I mean,
really looks like a guy in that picture.
It's a dude. Yeah. Bullock. I mean, look at the Charlie Theron. Look at this giraffe neck going on with this. I mean, it's all inversions. Okay, everything you think is beautiful is ugly, and they take everything beautiful and make it ugly. So they've taken human being. I mean, look at this Manny. I can't help it. I have going into the Manny conversation.
Well, because people need to be aware of this.
I mean, look at this. This is
the emerald. Should keep watching television without knowing that this is going on, and without knowing, just keep on buying into the dream that these people are what they say they are. Because I think nothing's going to wake them up like finding this out. Even the people, it doesn't even matter if you're gay or straight or, you know, I mean, we both know gay people and all that are just demtards to the max. But how do you think they're going to feel when they find out that if they're male, that Brad Pitt is a woman?
Female.
You know what I'm saying?
So hard for them, the cognitive dissonance. But I wanted to touch on the emeralds too, Linda, because they mean something different. And it's very interesting to me that Elon Musk happened to get rich with his father when he went to go buy an emerald mine in Italy, or some weird story like that. I wrote about that too, but I wanted to share this one. This is really funny. Someone sent this to me, a good friend.
I saw that.
I mean, it's funny, but it's like, it's actually true, folks. I mean, these people are, and I'll stop sharing now. So thank you for letting me share.
No, I enjoyed that.
I mean, these people are not only killing people and eating them, but they're turning pieces of humans. Like, we would have a purse that's leather. Their leather purse is made of us.
Well, it's kind of funny you should say that. Not funny, haha, but funny, weird, and just, disturbing. But when during are you familiar with the Kaylee Anthony trial where the girl drove around with the baby dead in the trunk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the family was so bizarre. I now wonder if they're like clones or reptilians or something, because they're out there in Orlando, and I heard there's a big underground base out there, and everybody, but this was before any of this stuff came out in that trial. You know what a circus they made of that trial, and how the news tried to turn her into like someone to be admired. She killing her kid.
Like Lorena Bobbitt, but worse. She was worse. The killing the kid in the trunk. I mean, Florida's full of reptilians, but my God.
Yeah, it was so bizarre. And I forgot what my point was about that. But anyway, we were talking about, what were we talking about?
We went from the turning into leather and the using the body parts for
because the parents were so weird, and people kept posting in comment groups and on topics. They're all missing the same chip. What's wrong with them and everything? They were like, can't we get an electric couch for these people? Because they were all in on it, covering it up. So then the weird thing was, they all covered up. They cleaned the remains out of this girl's car, and then they had Kaylee turned into jewelry and wore it at the funeral. So they're doing that now. Now, who would do that? Well, Galilee people who would clean a dead body out of a car, I guess, for their daughter, who they know killed the kid. Nobody else did, but they're blaming everybody. And so these people, there was just something wrong with them. And then they go and make jewelry out of so that really makes you wonder.
I want to make a distinction, because there might be people who view this that have had charms made out of ashes, loved ones. I want to make a distinction. Those people and there are companies that do this for the public, where you can turn ashes into jewelry or some kind of memorabilia of your loved one. That is way different, folks. You didn't kill your loved one. You didn't rape and pillage your loved one. I mean, okay, so I don't want people, saying, oh, I did this. No. We're not talking about you. We're talking about some demonic crap that's just evil. And they're showing it off to each other. Look at my jewelry. I mean, it doesn't get sicker than this. These people are sick, stupid, and just need to burn. Really, they do.
They really do have no soul. Whether they started out with a soul or not, it's up for grabs. But they do torture and beat the soul right out of them. So now we're stuck with these people that have no regard for human life at all. They actually enjoy. And when you were talking about this, that they enjoy it, they actually enjoy it. So they're wearing.
It's like a feast. You remember the song by the guy, I almost said the Beatles. We could go on for that forever. The Eagles, Hotel California. The first song I learned the lyrics to when I was a kid. They can stab them with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. They gather for the feast. I mean, it's right there, folks. It's been going on.
The following clip is from a radio interview with Khazarian Monster, Rabbi Finkelstein, aka a Talmud Luciferian Khazarian serpent man. This is a famous interview, although a lot of people did not believe it at the time. After learning so much of the terrible truth about what's happening to our children, I think it puts the whole interview into a different light. So here we go.
Believing anything. Well, we've done a great brainwashing job on them over the centuries, and especially the last few hundred years. We've just brainwashed them completely. They believe anything we tell them. And, in the meantime, we have a lot of fun around Passover where we steal the children. And, I know you know because I've heard it on your show before. I mean, we steal 100 to 300,000 children a year just here in this country. And we drain the blood and we mix it with a Passover bread. And then we throw the bodies into the slaughterhouses that we own. And we grind up all the bodies in the sausage and the hamburger. McDonald's is one of our favorite outlets. And the people, they eat it for breakfast. They eat their children for lunch. And, as Jews, we gotta do what we do. The most important thing to remember between you, Pastor Wickstrom, and me, Rabbi Hagee Finkelstein of New York, that we both have two fathers, and so that's why we look at the world in two different ways. And we know that there's a massive collision that's going to take place between two forces, don't we? Well, that's what your book says. Our book says that we're going to take over the world. Well, I look at you. You're doing a pretty good job right now. Yes, you've done a pretty good job, but there's quite an awakening coming. And my father, who's not your father, my father Yahweh, who isn't your father, of course, your father is talked about by my father in John 8:44, stating that your father was Satan and that you're the descendant of Cain, who was the first murderer. And you know that's true because you teach it in your synagogue. Well, that's true, but it's not for you Goyim to know. But right now it's too late. It's over for you white race. So that's why I'm speaking so honestly here, to bring it out into the open so that you can see it for what it is. You've been teaching the people real good, but they don't wake up, do they? You don't get a lot of followers, do they? Because you know why? They're scared of us Jews, because they don't want to be called anti-Semites, and they believe that we're the chosen people, and so that's why we can do whatever we want to do, and we can get away with it, because the white men are cowards, and we go to the synagogue all the time and have some Manischewitz and dance the Hava Megillah. It's interesting. I've told people for years and years, it's not that you Jews are hiding anything. You're coming right out on television, in the newspapers, on the radio, and you're telling the people exactly what you're going to do before you do it, and they're brain dead. Well, we did a good job with the public school system. We got you to put all of your children in there. You notice that the Jew doesn't put his children in there. They go to the Hebrew Academy, where we teach them the real things, and then they go to the synagogue and they learn the real important things. But we send your kids to the public school. We even have you tax yourself from your property so that you never own your property. And so if you don't make your property tax, we're going to take your property. You can bet on that. And we have you put your kid in a 12-year babysitting is about all it does, because you don't learn anything. And then by that time, the kids, they get to be teenagers, and then we give them the music. Not that we really want to call it music, because, that's not music. But they listen to that, and then they want to do what they want to do, and so we sell them drugs, and we make a lot of money off your children. Your children from cradle to grave. All we do is make money off of them. Your cattle, your goyim, the human cattle.
Hello, Patriots. I just wanted to say thank you to all of those who've been supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you. And I have a new payment platform called Stripe if you are interested in supporting the channel with a donation. And thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video.